functions some way or the other.
Yes, yeah, they do, and yeah, at just work level, perhaps it's easy, I won't say easy, but actors do move on quickly because they have something else lined up. Maybe directors are getting quickly involved in some, some other movie, but for writing, the time it takes to come to that point, and then cleanse yourself, and then restart all over again. It's a long process. And you have to prepare yourself that, okay, now I'm going to dive into this next, and as much as last time. So that little preparation, that's why there's a gap. There should be a respectable gap between, falling in love all over again with a new set of people. Yeah.
I actually go through cycles of attachment and detachment with my world, with the characters. I think that's part of the process because I'm a part of the writing process as well. So at that time the attachment is peaking, and then you're in the filming process, and so everything that you have actually imagined and put down on paper with your co-writers is now breathing life on its own. So it's an extremely fulfilling process. Once you have your footage and you're on the editing table, which is also a process, and you would know about this as well, Pooja, that you need to get detached, because then you have to look at your footage very objectively.
It's very hard because when it attaches, it becomes natural to you.
I think it's become easier, it's become over time, it's become easier. I am not emotional about my footage at all. At all. So then I'm totally assessing, and I will use words like this is crap, cut it. Yeah, so there is that process of detachment that happens. Then when the film gets put together and you have to begin your other post-processes of sound and music, then you're underlining emotions. So again, the emotional attachment comes back. So for me, it goes through cycles. Yes, actually. Yeah, I think the final bidai is when the film goes from me to the audiences in the theatre, is when I say my final farewell. That then I'm attached to the experience and the memories of the film. Yeah.
I think that DOPs need to get de-attached much faster because we don't have the time to. Yeah, because DPs usually finish up a shoot and they're hurrying for the next pre-production of the next shoot and going into the other.
So you don't have the cleansing time, right?
No, we don't have the cleansing time. So I think we treat it like, oh, मेरा family उधर पे रह गया है, अभी अगले वाले के पास जाना है. I think it's more of that. We are very fast movers in that way. We are not attached to people, But yeah, but obviously when you're shooting, you have slowly that connect to a certain character because you see the personality is getting built on screen slowly and gradually as you shoot. And the whole process takes time. But honestly, we cannot afford to have the time to be hung up on what we're shooting, and we have to be moving very fast to the next one because the next is already waiting for me to start from scratch for them. And if I bring that hangover of the previous shoot, I cannot work in the next one. So I think DPs have to be heartless in a way of that sort, and they really, really cannot afford to be attached for too long. Obviously, you get depressed about the shoot and the memories of it and how things are fit, but little more attachment emotionally than that, I think it's not actually possible for us.
Honestly,
yeah, it's just not. You cannot afford to do that. If I think of a certain character background, that might influence how I'm going to shoot the next actor. Maybe I'm shooting two films back to back, which has a character which is close by to each other, which I've shot previously, and the next one. It might have some shades together. If I don't get out of the previous attachment, I won't be able to see this new character in a certain new light.
Correct.
So I might be like just taking a hangover of that or extension of that and projecting the same character in a certain way, which shouldn't happen, what I believe. So it's better to get out of the zone ASAP and see your new film and new script and new characters in a different light completely.
Pooja, you have two different levels of attachment, as a writer and editor.
Yes. Exactly what Meghna was saying. I think that when we're writing, we're sort of, yes, you get attached, you wonder what this character will do and so on. Then you go into shoot and, these ideas that are on paper are interpreted by different people, so many different actors, cinematographers, and finally it's on the edit table and now you're looking at it again and saying, अच्छा ऐसे नहीं सोचा था या oh it's much better than जो सोचा था sometimes happy times but so it's yes I think it's a attached go away for a bit come back again and then again at the time of post yes I agree when you're putting the music when you're putting the sound is when you're finally rewriting the film. I think that the film gets written on paper and then it gets written on shoot and then it gets written on the editing table. So it's the same sort of writer attachment detachment that keeps going on. Yeah.
Samita.
For me, of course, the attachment is complete. Letting go of my characters would be like a death in the family. So I'm not planning to let go of them. But then I'm writing a series, so I don't have to let go. But you know, for me, attachment is important in a different way. I have to let go when the director, the one who's going to make the movie, is going to make the movie with her own vision and in her own way. So that is something which is scaring me. Because I have an idea about what I wrote, which is a very strong one, and obviously it's being made by Ruchi Narayan. So she has her own ideas. We are in conversation and in discussion, but it will be the image which will be important for the movie naturally. I accept that. But that's going to be a tough one for me.
It's an organic process, I think. That best of luck with that. I mean, I'm sure it'll be good, but
I am a little scared about that because you know, writing the image that the words convey would be different for me and different for Ruchi. Will the two be the same? Will I be able to live with that?
Yeah. So how much creative control do you think you will have? Because the first time you're sharing your work in that sense with somebody else.
Well, before I signed the contract, we had a long discussion on this. I wanted to say that if I don't like it, don't do it. She said it's not possible. This is not your medium. Your medium is words. So the last word on the creative concepts cannot be yours. So I agree with the logic of that. Because I am a writer, I am not a filmmaker. So naturally it will be the filmmaker. But like I said, it's going to be a very difficult thing for me.
Different journey for you guys.
And I'm a little scared about it.
So you've said that you're scared 3 times. So may I just tell you, please don't be scared. Because having just made a film on a book, I can completely understand where you're coming from. And also my father is an author and I know, you know, the premium of a writer's words are sacred. But like Pooja said, it's not only the director, there will be the cinematographer, there will be the production designer, there will be the costume designer, there will be the actors. They will all have their own interpretation and please look at it as a painting where there will be different people adding different shades to it and all that will emerge is one beautiful picture at the end.
Thank you.
bravo, that's lovely.
Most of you are a co-writer with somebody. How is the process when you're sharing a creative space with somebody else? It could be interesting, fascinating. At the same time, is it also conflicting?
Actually, I've never co-written, so, and I don't think I can. No, I can't. For me, the first draft of the film is absolutely, it has to be mine. I cannot write anybody's thoughts, ideas. For me, it has to be written in complete isolation. And when that is ready, it's only after that can, and also I've just worked with Shujit. So, I mean, I know roughly, we do have a conversation. He knows what I'm writing towards, but exactly what I'm going to write, he has absolutely no idea. And I like it that way because then he gets the surprise, the director gets the surprise what I've come up with that basic crux of the thought. And then there's a lot of material to discuss and go back and forth on something. And first draft, I feel, is the purest version of that idea. And then everything else builds on that. You remove from it, you add to it. But for me as a writer, I need to know that subject completely by myself first. I'm extremely thorough, completely thorough. Everything, every character, every detail, every nook and corner of that person's existence, everything has to be known to me. Only then I can surrender or let it go. It has to be, it has to come from inside me first, completely. But it's important to listen to what the other person's vision is. So for me, what helps is if I'm in agreement to that vision, then it's like, okay, we know we are on the same page, now I'll disappear and write. That's important for the director, so that after 7, 8 months, 9 months, when I appear, resurface, it's not like a shock. It's a surprise. It's a pleasant surprise. That where the journey happened, you know, how that vision was sort of achieved in writing. But that duration has to be completely alone.
But you start on the same page.
Yeah, of course. That you know that, okay, this is the story idea we are trying to deal with, and you know the basic 1 or 2 characters, but the world around that comes on an everyday basis, everyday journey, and it can't happen that just because there are 2 people in the room, so every day we have to write. Alone also, you know, there are days together when there's nothing on paper. Now, how do you explain that if you know, when you're writing together, because I've not done that, so I don't know, maybe there is a process to that as well, that you have to meet and then you have to write, because you're meeting to write. So it becomes a, you know, there is
You
a...
set to do together.
Together, yeah. But if you're doing it all by yourself, you can lie down in the process, you'll cry in the process, you'll not eat it in the process, you might not take bath in the process for 2 days, 3 days, whatever it is. It's you're just living it all by yourself. For me, that is extremely important.
I love collaborative writing. I do. I find it extremely energizing. I find it much faster. I think I alone am a very, very lazy writer. And you keep waiting for that one start to come to you, which never comes when I'm writing alone. So for me, it's very exhilarating when I'm sitting with my co-writers and we just talk. And somehow for the last 3 or 4 films, our basic story's already been laid out because it's a true life incident. So we're just sitting and talking कि अच्छा अगर वो ऐसे करे तो अगर उसने ऐसा बोला हो तो so that verbal jamming, when that becomes words, we don't know. But that's just how it happens, and I really love that process. And then what we do is that once the first person will take a stab at it, take a start, pass it to the second, and then it'll come to me. Then I will circulate, you know, so it keeps growing with every round that it takes, whether it's a scene, whether it's sequences. So, I mean, I love that process.
So also the creative conflict, right?
Well, not conflict, there could be another point of view, let me put it that way. And if it is adding to the story, the script, the character, or the film, and it's making it better, we all just agree. Unless it's a complete departure from what, say, we've been thinking about for a majority of the time, then, you know, we kind of take a vote on it. It's a democratic process. I mean, I thankfully, I've never had an opportunity where I have had to pull rank and say, no, but I'm the director and this is how it needs to be done.
I completely agree. I've worked in a collaborative space. I wrote my first film or a version of it all by myself. And I remember when Sriram saw it, Ek Hasina Thi, he said, "It is not a screenplay; it's a novella." And so it was, for me, it was a learning curve that I think is still going on. But like she said, I love collaborate. I think there's a lot of jamming. There's a lot of you know, ideas banging about back and forth. Some days you are amazed at what another person might come up with, but it is it's all in good faith. It's all in you know, the film is bigger than all of us, really. So it's just about you know, coming to, and then you go back home after you had your chats and everything, and try and put it down on paper, and then you share. So that's how it's been. That's how my last few films that I've written have been.
A lot of people say, Samira, that writing, all writers know that writing is a lonely process. Would you all agree with those who write it themselves?
Absolutely, and I think I am in Judy's camp over here, because when I write, I take about 6 to 8 months to write the basic book, and then I am, you know, cut off outside the entire universe. And then one just immerses oneself in that space and writes. So for me, it's really difficult to understand how someone else would be in that space, because it is very lonely and a very a space which is cut off from normal life, from other people, from everything else. So, but I have not tried collaborative writing yet. Maybe there's something to it. Maybe other people can add something which is not there in me. At the moment, I think